with us now is someone that's usually behind the camera because he's a little shy, but I asked him to come on with us today because his work is absolutely beautiful. This is Jason Belsky with Film by Air. Hello, my friend.
How have you been?
Excellent, thank you. Because I know that this is like not your comfort zone, but I got you. I'm not going to let you drop, nor do you let your drones drop. So what did you bring with us today? What is this piece?
This is the new small one from DJI. It's called the Mavic Pro.
Okay.
This is like their new, smallest, foldable, I guess, carry if you want to just go hiking or something just to run and gun with. This is the one that right now everyone's trying to get.
Got it. This is the hot one.
This is the hot one.
H-O-T-T, hot.
Exactly.
Okay. So how did you start working with drones? What made you decide to start doing it?
You know, it was funny. I was at Flushing Meadow Park taking some pictures of the Unisphere, and because I used to live in that area, and it was a few years ago, and I saw some guy flying one around, and previously to that I really had no idea what they were. So I started talking, and he introduced me to what he had, and then I ran home. I started researching him, and boom, and here we are today.
Now, you kind of became a little bit famous. I want to brag about you a little bit because your footage now is picked up by major networks. So can you tell us, like, the first moment that something that you had all of a sudden went viral and went really, really big? What did you shoot?
I caught a whale breaching in Long Beach, actually jumping out of the water, grabbing the fish and diving back down. I have some dolphin shots. And just recently this summer, there was a lightning strike in Long Beach where a couple people were hit by lightning. They were okay. But, you
caught the bolt.
I caught the actual bolt coming down, coming up, and then, everyone running and scattering. And, all those things were picked up by almost every major network.
How did that feel? Were you excited?
It's pretty crazy.
You're also a filmmaker. You've worked on some documentaries. Most recently, tell us about that experience for you because it's really heartfelt and really touching. The stories that you tell are just unbelievably beautiful.
Every year I do, lately I've been doing the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I cover the polar bear plunge for them in the winter times, but I do a lot of work with Surf for All. And there's a kid named Dylan. He has cerebral palsy and he's a surfer. And so, I've covered him a couple times. We made a couple short films about him. And, he's just an inspirational character.
Let's take a look at that. Do you mind?
Oh, sure.
Let's show that. Let's show that. Okay, so that was Dylan, who I got to meet at the film festival this year. So tell us about his story and how that kind of came about.
Well, Dylan has been working with Surf for All for quite a few years. They're the group that enables him to get into the water. They help him out to the beach, and Scoot and Surf. They're the people that started Surf for All. So through them, because I do a lot of work with the camp and the kids. So they set up an introduction one day for me to meet him and watch him surf and do some filming of him surfing. And that's really how that whole surf scene came together.
How does it personally feel for you to have a talent that is enriching the lives of others now?
It makes me feel good about myself that I could put out like fun and interesting and kind of sometimes heartfelt content that people like enjoy sharing. Because sometimes you go on your social media and your Facebook, you see these videos these people put up, and some of them are sad, or they're just like, I don't know, they're not like something you would want to share with people. But it makes me feel good when people like really react to my stuff in a positive manner, and I feel like I'm making people go, oh man, or nice, or
Even the thing you did for Long Beach, your year end, is also so spectacular. You know, you're really you're a storyteller, basically. You know, and you're really good at operating these things because you have a big guy here.
Right.
Can you bring this up? Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see
sure.
what this one is. All right, what is this one called?
This one is a Inspire Pro.
Okay.
Like if anyone that knows anything about cameras, this one has a like a real micro 4/3 camera on it, where
Okay.
if I wanted to, I can change the lenses, which I have a couple lens options for this. So if I'm going to shoot something a little more cinematic and I want it to look a little more deep, this is something I would use. Or if like the winds are heavy, these bigger crafts, they're better in the wind than like these smaller guys, because if it's a breezy day and I use something like this gets like blown all over the place, so it won't look as smooth and steady as I would like it to be.
People used to hang out of helicopters. Did you ever shoot stuff out of a helicopter?
I did once. I did one of those Manhattan tours.
Yep.
So I wasn't able to hang out the door, but I was able to shoot through the window, which isn't like, I guess, the same. But I tried it. I could see maybe where sometimes that would maybe be better than something like this. But I feel like maybe 80% of the things that somebody like that would need to do with either a jib or a helicopter, or like a large crane, like now with the different sizes and cameras, because they all almost, even this one, I wouldn't say it's cinema quality, but if you're shooting a quick scene, for
Does
most
the
people,
trick.
this will definitely do the trick.
Right. So hire you instead of hiring the helicopter, waiting if the whatever's going to happen with that helicopter. A helicopter cannot get as close to the surface as you can.
There is that sweet spot where
Yeah.
you're too high up in the air, then
Right.
you need a real long lens on a helicopter, where this thing, I've flown smaller ones like inside of a pool, like inside of an indoor pool, and we need like some swimming shots. So, to be able to fly inside over an indoor pool, it's a game changer.
How far in advance does somebody need to get you involved in their project? Right from the get-go? Like right after screen when they're starting to do principal photography? Is that a good time to meet with you so that you can kind of help them with their script almost?
Yeah, because I feel like I've had someone call me for something where it was like, we need you tomorrow. But
Right.
I always like to be involved maybe a little creatively, because I can maybe say, I've done this before or something like, and I can give them my little tweak on maybe what I think would look better. Because a lot of times, like if I go on a set, that'll happen. Like, okay, we want you to do this, but I'm like, well, okay, I'll do this, but can I also do this and this? And then, ends up they like some of my other stuff. Like I have like a couple electronic skateboards, and I have some like a regular glide cam and a handy cam. So like those types of things, I could present.
I've seen you before on the skateboard with your drone.
Yeah, so like I filmed a marathon last year, and I was on my electric skateboard, pacing the people running, with a steady cam, and just doing like full trailing shots, while these people are running. And I don't know really, unless you're in a car or a vehicle, there's really no other way to get a shot like that.
So no project's too small or too big, and you'll travel.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I like
Got
to
your
have fun.
passport ready?
I like to have fun.
There
It's
you
a
go.
fun project. I'm there.
It's always about me, right? It's only about the fun. So thank you very, very much for being here. Jason
well,
Belsky,
thanks for having me.
Film by Air. All right, stay tuned for more on Live It Up. Definitely going to live it up with this thing.